I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin. In this video, we are live with the Digits Club, going to have a full look on the crypto market of today. We have some quite interesting things that are currently happening, and we'll definitely read through all those details. So Bitcoin sitting about 47K right now, just took a plummet dive literally in the last 20 minutes, 46.9. But you can see from this chart, it is definitely not as significant. When we go over to the Ethereum overview, again, same thing, right? So the pattern is quite stable. The question, what happened to the Terraverse AMA? We decided to skip that because Terraverse wasn't ready and we have certain requirements. One of them is show up on time, right? So unfortunately, it will be crypto gaming, which is also very fun. Solana sitting about 125. Cardano is sitting about 120. Terra Luna above $100 and AFEX just under $100. All still, I mean, looking very stable, right? Not what we've seen before with the huge fluctuations, but look at this, right? So that are definitely the indications. Obviously, Silica got listed on Binance, and you see that huge pump happening. Look at the volume from 50 million a day all the way to 8 billion, and definitely resembles in the price as well. That's pumping moving forward, right? When we look at the rest of the tokens in the top 100, we see a lot of green, right? Overall, the green pattern across the market, whether that's Kadena, whether that is IOTEX still making some gains. Yeah, IOTEX here, still looking healthy, looking good. But as per the requests, today I just want to focus on the requests first. We'll have a look at Magicraft, MCRT, and we can basically see what we have here. So you can definitely see, because of the low volume, whenever a sell order comes through, it definitely shows on the chart. But if we look at the last 7 days, this was basically the NFT announcement pump. Got to zoom out a little bit to get the right pattern, right? So you can definitely see it's still at a low point. If you zoom out entirely, the volume is extremely low, right? We're talking 100, 400K a day in terms of volume, which is for such a coin normal, I would say, but overall on the low end of things. When we would say, when is this going to pump? Likely when the NFT marketplace got delayed, which is basically one thing that would be next and upcoming for this token to basically deliver the next push, right? So if there's no staking, if there's no NFT mint, if there's no NFT marketplace, there's little to no utility for this token. If we would pick up something like FN, then we can basically see that pattern is still low, right? Don't get me wrong if you look at the chart, but very much stable. So stable relatively to the IDO price, a little bit above the IDO price, which is then fine, in my opinion. Right? If you look at something like SolChicks, I think it was pumping a little bit, but pumping from where? Pumping from one of the most insane low prices, which is basically a project at this point, which is hard to recover to IDO price with the current market conditions, which is 5 cents, right? So it's halfway there. Might it recover? Yes. Might it not? Also, yes. There's not much to say on that for now. If we look into the crypto section in general, we're seeing basically a healthy overview on the weekly averages, right? Seven day average, good linear trend, everything green. Vulcan, basically one of the most aggressive gainers as per usual, right, as expected. But it is looking really good. Somebody's saying Bitcoin is dropping. Yeah, we just looked at it. Is it dropping more significantly now? Yeah. So definitely, when we pull up the fear and greed index, it's always a good indicator in general. Still in the neutral area, right? So we did derive a little bit of greed the last couple of days, and now it looks back into the neutral, moves back into the neutral state. Bitcoin 46.5. I'll keep it open for now. Might be interesting just to see what the actual rate is while we're reviewing everything. So the crypto gaming in general doing really well off that Bitcoin run and stabilization, right? So there's always, as I say, every single day, 12-hour to about 72-hour delay on these crypto gaming tokens relative to the action of Bitcoin. However, up, right, in an upward trend. In a downward trend, it's always, well, almost immediate, right? You can even see the 24-hour percentages coming down. You can see the charts moving down because of that Bitcoin downhill move. And it's quite a big one, right? It's 1K so far, and it might become more in a second, right? But we'll keep our eye on that live. All right, let's pick up a Roman's suggestion and go to Hunter first. Never heard about it before. So I don't know. Oh, it's not live. We can have a look at the project though, if that's what you mean. Hunterfirst.io. And well, the art looks nice. So that's one thing. It looks playable. We can play the video. Let me just mute it. It's like a storyboard in VR. Okay, Sorcerer. This doesn't look that good. If this is the gameplay, hang on. So it would be quite cool if you could play it like yourself, but I like, if this is, I don't really understand this part, and the graphics look really poor, right? So definitely a very low quality game. It looks like turn-based. Game features. So if the game features is like staking and farming, breeding, that's like the foundation of crypto, right? So if that's part of your game as your pitch, that's bullshit. So I already don't like this. It looks completely cheap. It looks like, this is something that would like look like an obvious cash grab, right? But, you know, who knows, maybe the game is a lot more than it appears. I'm just going through it quite quickly. So they have Launch Zone CMO, Launch Zone CTO. So they got two advisors from the same team, which is also not ideal, I would say. Launch Zone as an investor, and other than that, no big investors on their deck. Which makes sense, because I would say just the launchpads that they signed for the actual launch of their game. Other than that, looks relatively low quality, not something I would be interested in. This overview had me excited though, because it looks quite good, but the gameplay and the VR aspect is a little bit strange and or boring. All right, we got Metamate NFT. Also untracked, all new projects. Let's have a look. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Still moving down. The social and dating metaverse. All right, that's interesting. Alpha version, free to play. Okay, so how does that work? Okay, so it's kind of like the SimCity build style. Okay, and you have your own character, and you can go out on a date. Restaurant. So this is basically for social awkward people, perhaps. But at least it looks like higher quality. Also, as again, not really my game. This is like a lower style game, but Bluezilla is there, Game Zone. So they basically have all the Bluezilla pads, right? They're the major ones, Meta pad, Bluezilla. Luna pad is there. Other than that, not really any interesting backers. Because I think Brand pad, Meta pad, Game Zone, they're all by Bluezilla. And then Luna pad is one of the lowest quality launch pads, right? So they will launch anything, it appears, which is fine. I mean, got to launch somewhere. So That makes sense. The team doxed all their LinkedIn's there. Appreciate that. Website is of good quality, so that looks good. They have a white paper and a pitch deck, so this is definitely a game. The quality looks high. The usability, adaptability, adoption of such a game, I think, is also high. It's just it doesn't interest me personally, right? Like this this type of mobile focused game. But it makes sense. I mean, yeah, interesting. We have Loon. Okay. So any Solana NFT in your aim? We can go to Magic Eden. I think OpenSea just started onboarding actual actual Solana NFTs. But I looked at the Astrals once that highest sale came in. So if you look at the highest sales, I think it was from this collection. I'm not really too sure. Do they have like highest last sale? How rare, high to low. Recently listed, high to low. Okay, how rare rank? 8,000 Solana, 2,000 Solana. I think one was sold for 500 Solana from this collection. I'm not really too sure. Kind of looked like this one. Was it this one? No, it was only sold for 25 Solana. But yeah, I think it was something from this collection. No, I'm not really too big in Solana NFTs myself. I am on OpenSea a lot. But specifically Solana NFTs is maybe something I would have to explore once the activity becomes a little bigger, right? I'm dealing with a little bit of bigger budgets. And Solana NFT hasn't seemed to be too interesting. So Magic Eden, Solon Art, Fractal, I haven't spent much time there. I'm also looking for the high utility one. So I did check out Genopads before. Of course, the Solchix NFTs were on Solana that I had before, which I sold. So I am familiar with how it works and what the opportunities are. I just don't see any major opportunities present at this moment. Rise Online World. Yes, we can check it. Rise Online World. Is this game? It's in Turkish. So you also said it's a Turkish game. I don't know how relevant it is if it's only in Turkish, right? So of course the Turkish crypto market is huge, right? But to make a game dedicated just to Turkey, I don't think is the right choice because it's huge, but not that huge, right? To have like a, maybe if it's a copy of an original game and then adapted to crypto, then it would make sense. But if it's like a fresh build and it's like a high quality game just for one single closed market, then it wouldn't make much sense for me, specifically not if you take into consideration NFTs and everything around it. And I can't read it. So there it says like MetaMask, that's in English, but most of the website is in Turkish, which I can't read, right? So not too interesting for me at the moment. NFT Champions, I've heard that one before. They have a token as well, NFT Champions. So we definitely see that they got hit by the bearish market, as with every token, right? So at the basically all-time high, about $1, just over $1, right? They did quite well after the launch. And then as soon as the gaming bull run was over, it has declined ever since. On Polygon, yeah, on Polygon, the whole Pokemon style, right? Because that's basically what it is. And then it has like a format of whatever this arena battle style is called that they do. Basically the one-on-one. So this is also turn-based, right? And the turn-based aspect, I get it why, but it's just, it's not that interesting, I would say. Just because I think it's a little boring, you know, from a game point of view. I know it's like part of the whole vibe and how these games are set up, but for me, it's just not much like that. Animalia Games, that's also a game I invested in really early. The story is good, it's interesting, But along the way, Roman asking that question, Roman specifically, I did change my mind about card games, right? Just based on my experience investing in card games. So I would definitely say this is one of the higher quality, or maybe even one of the highest quality card games. Yet it doesn't take away that the gameplay is boring because it's still a fucking card game. Hearthstone from Blizzard is still a card game, right? And it's very famous, has a lot of players, but I just think it's fucking boring, right? So, but I'm also not the one playing it. So I think the card games could have potential, but it would need the highest quality. And I don't know if this is it, right? Specifically, because you can see what it looks like, but it looks a lot better than your regular card game, right? The team is very active. The owners are willing to answer questions. You know, those are the things I appreciate. Strong team, good vision, not a huge team, right? But then again, it's a card game. Good story, good lore. They sold a lot of NFTs, which basically for a cash grab point of view, but I'm more talking about a marketing point of view. The demand is there for this game. So the story is sufficient to be able to sell. I think these God NFTs that they sold, they were $500 a pop, and they sold, I don't know, I think 500 per exchange, and they sold across like 4 or 5 exchanges. So they raised like a good amount of money. 4 members on the team, 4 advisors. They got Seedify here. Banter Capital has invested, Anypad, Synapse. So they definitely have a strong array of launchpads. They have like tier 2, tier 3 VCs on board, and Banter as well. So that's good. But yeah, that at least says something. Like, so they got like a 7 out of 10 game, maybe, right? Based on the art, based on the story, based on how the NFT sold. And then obviously they have good backers, good advisors. So it brings the card game up a little bit in terms of expectations. Don't expect like a 50x, obviously. But I would expect like a long-term 5x, hopefully. Let's check out some NFTs. I want to keep it a little bit short today. World of Women, 1.3 Ethereum. Azuki, there was a big airdrop, right, from Azuki, something official, right here, floor, 3 Ethereum. Board at Yacht Club, almost 110 Ethereum, that's insane. Mutant Apes, 23. Imposters, 2.2. I have many imposters. I think I have 13. Doodles, Bored Ape Kennel Club, Peaceful. Ash, I don't know what that is. It does look cool with like the little changes. Gutter Juice, Meebits. Anything I find interesting? Not really. There's so many of these projects I can't even keep up yet. Every day there's like new stuff. I assume most of these are extremely interesting, but it's just not, I just don't have the time to explore everything, right? I do like the NanoPass, which is up 3.3 Ethereum. And what else do we have? CyberConks, 5.3, Outer Identities, 3 almost. So the upload is today of the Outer Identities. So that's why probably it's pumping a little bit. White Sands, just under Ethereum. So it did pump because of the big announcement. I don't know what the big announcement was, but apparently it wasn't such a big deal because the floor went down again. Then we have the Mavia Land, also down 0.78. Which did go near 1 Ethereum. Pudgy Penguins, 1.4. Then we have the Neo Tokyo Citizens, 14.5. Journey Club, stable at least for now, at 1.2. Metamentions, 1. Ethereum, MyPad Hooligan, 1.2. Oh, that's crazy. My Siri just went off. Scared the shit out of me. I didn't say anything. It was so loud. My volume is also almost maxed out. Then we have anything else? Not really. Not really anything I follow, so to say. There's so many collections. Oh, Villages of Solo. That's fucking down the drain. 0.08. That launch was a disaster. It's not a good foundation for their game, unfortunately. But I'm happy that Imposters did well. I'm actually quite curious about the lands in general. Spectre is like a launchpad from the creators So there's people building inside Neo Tokyo, and some of these guys got together and built a launchpad. But the launchpad is, I think, invite only. NFTs are free to mint on invite. And they have, I don't know, it's like a decentralized VC, but I don't know exactly how it's working. I've been following it, right? The updates that they post inside Neo Tokyo, but I haven't actually followed how it would work or whatever. Okay, NFT world's down, World Wide Web up a little bit, or stable at least. Network stable, Ambasort also stable. So the lands are basically still stable, not pumping anymore after that huge gain that they already made. I haven't made my move on Network nor Mavia because they seem quite stable, and I don't know, I haven't really had the time to. I always, when I like to invest into things, I like to be thorough. I like to do enough research, and I really have to be, I'm so busy, and I just, when I want to research something, I really want to take a good 2 to 3 hours to explore that, right? So when we go to Twitter, I am following the Spectre launchpad here. I have the bell notifications on just because I like to see their updates, right? It was a Neo Tokyo news. Don't get them wrong. These are not their partners, right? So it says Animoca Brands. They're not partnered with Animoca Brands. It's just they're on the deck of a project that also has Animoca Brands. Just saying. But there's quite some mystery. They follow basically the Neo Tokyo approach, hyping it and everything. And I'm sure they'll bring something great, right? As the team, which consists of quite a bunch of people. They're all really active in Neo Tokyo, delivering value every single day. So definitely make sure that if you're interested, I think it's a little bit for bigger players. But yeah, I'm following it. I'm curious to see what they are going to accomplish there. I think Bitcoin, yeah, it's a little bit stabilized here now, the first edge at least, on about 46.5K, just under, which leaves room for us to explore. When we go to the last section of today, which is obviously the launch pads, we will find some opportunity there, I assume. Super farm pumping because of the imposters mint, right? DAO already gained a lot, stabilizing. Everything else kind of in a stable period. No big gainers, no big losers. Yeah, 12% is the maximum gain, which is good. And ooh, 21%. And the pads that are losing quite big, specifically on the weekly average. So Trust Swap, still the biggest gainer, GameFi as well. So they have done really well this week. And Starter, an NFT pad, any pad. You can look at the daily and the 7 week. You can see it's quite parallel, right? They don't seem to be able to make big moves during this downtrend, unfortunately. When we go to Bitcoin, yeah, CoinMarketCap's always a little bit late with the updates, but somebody's saying it's right now 46.3K. So that downward trend is continuing, and hopefully we can stay about 46K, or we might pump to the moon later on. It's still a journey. I'm going to keep it short today. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I assume Taroverse is going to reschedule, and hopefully we can pick them up later. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.